What an inspiration this place is. Here we are in the middle of downtown Chicago, surrounded by skyscrapers.
And this is a rooftop garden.
With a garage underneath. Right. And
amazing.
Yet there are so many native plants here that people can use in their own backyards.
And won't it be great to hear which ones are Jennifer Davitt's favorites?
Yeah, let's find out. I'm here with Jennifer Davitt, director of the Lurie Garden in downtown Chicago. When you come to Chicago, this is the place you have to stop if you're a gardener. Jennifer, thank you so much for being with us.
Oh, thanks. Great to be here today.
Now, when people come to this garden and they look around, they don't realize that it's actually a rooftop garden.
Right. It's amazing. A little over 10 years ago, this was just a one-level asphalt parking lot. But now it's a rooftop garden built over 7 levels of parking garage. So it's really amazing. So you're here, you know, there's a lot of cars, the metro commuter train is below us, and here we have an amazing sustainable garden.
But you have different layers of soil, different levels and depths of soil here.
Yeah, the soil ranges from 2 to 4 feet. And underneath the soil, we've used styrofoam to create the topographies because it's really lightweight and doesn't break down over time.
Now, we're here on April 2nd this year, and those people who are in the Midwest know that this has been an incredible year. Incredibly warm temperatures in March. So what happened is these plants popped up about, you're telling me, 5 weeks early?
Yeah, right now we're about 5 weeks ahead of schedule. We track when everything comes into bloom over the years, and this year 5 weeks early.
Oh my goodness.
It's amazing. So we're seeing combinations of plants blooming now that we haven't really seen before, because some things are ahead of schedule and some things are on schedule. So it's really going to be an interesting year in the garden.
But that must be really fun for a horticulturist.
It's, you know, that's one of the things I love about gardening is that you never know what's going to happen. Every year is different. You know, you can actually be surprised. You can't predict what's going to happen. So for me, it's a great year. You know, we always love these kinds of surprises.
Now, one of the things that you did in the garden when it was created was put a lot of natives in here, but it's not all strictly natives. I'm looking at tulips, and obviously tulips are not from the Midwest.
Right. No, the garden is not all natives. It's a combination of plants that are well suited for the climate. So there's a lot of things that aren't native, but they do really well in the conditions here. So our goal is just to have things that thrive in our climate, that do well in the soil we have, and that don't need a lot of water. So we try to water very infrequently here. There's about half the garden that doesn't actually ever get watered at all.
And you don't have any drip irrigation or anything like that here?
We have irrigation.
Okay.
We do.
But you try not to use it?
Yeah, we use it very infrequently.
And another interesting thing that you've started doing is cutting back the plants, not in the fall, but late winter. Why do you do that?
Well, the textures of the garden are one of its main features. So we like to leave all of the plants up throughout the winter because they have beautiful flowers and beautiful bloom spikes that are really interesting throughout the winter. So it provides habitat for wildlife and visual interest for visitors who walk through all times of the year. Then what we do is we cut it back in the late winter. We actually use a mower fitted with mulching blades and drive over the whole garden, and then we leave all of the natural debris on site, which is amazing. I had talked with Pete Oldoff some about this, and some of the other gardens he's designed, especially in Sweden, do the same thing. So we sort of took their cue and tried it here, and it worked out well and is a more sustainable option for us.
And it's their own mulch. They are growing in the detritus that is left behind from the previous year.
Right, and that's what the plants would normally grow in the wild. They wouldn't grow in debris that's brought in from somewhere else, so the plants prefer it.
Well, can you do that at home?
You can do it at home. If you're not able to get a mower with mulching blades and things like that, you can use your lawn mower, but just on perennials that don't get woody at all. So hostas or things like that, you can go ahead and mow them over and just leave that in place.
Well, thank you, Jennifer Davitt. We're going to look at some other parts of this beautiful garden in just a second.